Talk to yourself like this for 3 days and see how everything starts to change. Vertical bar Stoic today. YouTube. What if the voice in your head isn't a background echo, but the blueprint for your entire life? Could 3 days of intentional self-talk rewire not just your thoughts, but your energy, focus, and identity? What if the way you speak to yourself every day is either locking you into the past or unlocking your future? Welcome to the Stoic Today YouTube. Please take a moment of your precious time and generosity to click the subscribe button, comment. Thank you very much. Please listen to the next great content. And let's be honest, most of us are harder on ourselves than anyone else ever could be. We criticize, doubt, and second-guess ourselves daily, and the result, we feel stuck, overwhelmed, and exhausted. But what if I told you that the way you talk to yourself holds the power to change everything? Yes, everything. Your self-talk isn't just harmless chatter, it's the script. Your brain follows the energy your body responds to, and the mindset that shapes your entire life for the next few minutes. We're going to dive into how intentional self-talk can rewire your brain, boost your energy, and help you break free from old patterns. And by the end, I'll challenge you to a simple 3-day practice that might just transform your reality. Ready to see what happens when you change the conversation in your head? Let's begin with the first point, the power of self-talk in shaping your reality. Have you ever stopped to notice how the way you talk to yourself shapes your entire reality? Think about it. When you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good enough or I'll never make it, how does your day unfold? Probably with more frustration, self-doubt, and missed opportunities. But when you say, I can handle this, or I'm learning and growing, everything starts to feel different. That's not a coincidence. Your self-talk is the foundation of your mindset, and your mindset influences every aspect of your life. From the way you handle challenges to the way you seize opportunities. Imagine two people facing the exact same setback. Let's say a rejected job application. One person thinks, I knew this would happen. I'm just not cut out for this. The other person says, this is disappointing, but it's not the end. I'll refine my approach and keep trying. The first person might give up entirely, while the second person uses the setback as fuel to improve what changed. Not the situation, but the internal dialogue. One mindset leads to stagnation, the other to resilience and growth. This principle isn't new. The Stoics who mastered the art of mental discipline understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The Stoics taught that while we can't control external events, we can control our internal responses and self-talk. That's your internal response to every moment you encounter. So how do you use this power to shape a better reality for yourself? Start by becoming aware of your self-talk. Pay attention to the words running through your mind. Are they building you up or tearing you down? When you catch yourself being overly critical, pause, reframe. For example, instead of saying, I can't handle this, try, this is challenging, but I'm capable. It might feel forced at first, but over time it becomes second nature. Affirmations are another effective tool. Choose a few positive statements that resonate with you. I am strong. I am worthy. I am capable of growth. Repeat them daily, morning, night, or whenever self-doubt creeps in repetition. strengthens these beliefs, and soon enough, they become your default mindset. Visualization also plays a huge role. Close your eyes and see yourself succeeding, whether it's nailing a presentation, reaching a personal goal, or simply being at peace. Your brain starts to believe what it repeatedly envisions, and your actions align with that belief. But here's something we often overlook: self-compassion. Think about how you'd encourage a close friend going through a tough time. You wouldn't call them a failure for making a mistake, right? So why do it to yourself? Treat yourself with the same kindness when you stumble. Remind yourself that setbacks are part of the journey, not a but. Reflection of your worth. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you care about deeply. When you do, your mind becomes a place of support, not sabotage. Your reality shifts, not because the world changes, but because you do. 2. Your thoughts create biochemical reactions in your body. Have you ever felt physically drained after a stressful day, even if you didn't do much physically, or felt energized simply because you were excited about something? That's not coincidence. It's chemistry. Every thought you have triggers a biochemical reaction in your body. This means your mindset isn't just influencing your mood, it's impacting your physical health and energy levels in real time. Let's break this down. When you have negative thoughts like "I'll never get through this," your brain releases stress hormones such as cortisol. This hormone prepares your body for a perceived threat, increasing your heart rate and tensing your muscles. In the short term, it's useful for emergencies, but when negativity becomes a habit, your body stays in this stress state for too long, leading to fatigue, anxiety, and even illness. In the flip side, positive thoughts like "I can handle this" release feel-good chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin, which boost your mood, improve focus, and increase your overall energy. Picture this. Sarah, a young entrepreneur, faces a crucial business pitch. She spends days thinking, "I'm going to mess this up" by the time the pitch arrives. Her body is already worn out from days of stress. Her mind is foggy and her confidence is shattered. Now imagine if Sarah had approached the same situation with "I'm prepared," said, "I can do this." Her body would have responded with calmness and clarity, giving her the best chance to succeed. When the situation didn't change, her thoughts did, and so did her body's response. Stoicism, with its emphasis on inner discipline, aligns perfectly with this concept. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reactions start with your thoughts, and those thoughts have a direct line to your body's chemistry. The Stoics believed that mastering your mind was key to mastering your life, and science now proves they were right. So how can you harness this connection for your benefit? First, start each morning with intentional self-talk before the day's stress kicks in. Take a moment to affirm your strength. "Today I will handle whatever comes my way with calm and clarity." This sets a positive biochemical tone for your entire day. Second, practice mindfulness throughout the day. When negative thoughts arise, don't ignore them. Acknowledge them, but then consciously shift your focus and replace. "This is too much" with one step at a time. "I've got this." It's like flipping a switch in your brain, changing the chemical flow from stress to calm. Another practical tip: end your day by reflecting on 3 things you did well. This simple practice floods your brain with positive chemicals, reinforcing a cycle of confidence and well-being. Your body listens to every word your mind speaks when you choose and your thoughts carefully. You're not just improving your mindset, You're enhancing your health, energy, and quality of life. The power is in your hands, or rather, in your mind. 3. Your brain can't tell the difference between real and imagined experiences. Did you know that your brain processes what you imagine, almost the same way it processes reality? It's fascinating, but it also means that your self-talk and mental imagery have immense power. When you constantly visualize failure or doubt, your brain reacts as if those fears are real, reinforcing anxiety and hesitation. But when you imagine success, your brain starts to believe it's already happening, setting you up for actual achievement. Let's put this into perspective. Think of athletes. Before a big game, many of them use visualization techniques, picturing themselves scoring the winning goal, crossing the finish line, or making the perfect play. This isn't just mental fluff, it's neuroscience at work. Their brains can't fully distinguish between the imagined success and the real thing, which boosts their confidence and sharpens their focus when the moment arrives. Now imagine applying this to your own life. Say you have a challenging presentation at work. If you spend the days leading up to it thinking I'll mess up, they'll see right through me. Your brain is already preparing for failure. Your nerves spike, your voice shakes, and your mind goes blank. But if you take time each day to close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself speaking confidently, engaging your audience, and nailing every point, your brain registers that as a rehearsal. By the time you actually present, it feels familiar, like you've already succeeded before you even start. This aligns perfectly with Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius in his meditations emphasized the power of mental preparation. He would reflect each morning on potential challenges he might face, preparing his mind to respond with calm and clarity. While the Stoics didn't have modern neuroscience, their practices reflect what science confirms today. Your mind shapes your reality even before it happens. So how can you do this work for you? Start by creating a mental movie of your goals, whatever you're working toward, be it personal, professional, or emotional. Spend a few minutes each day vividly imagining yourself achieving it. See the details, feel the emotions, and immerse yourself in that success. Your brain will start to believe in that possibility, pushing you to take actions that align with that vision. When negative images pop up, don't panic, acknowledge them, then consciously replace them. If you see yourself failing, pause and repaint that picture. See when yourself overcoming obstacles. Instead, this isn't about ignoring reality. It's about training your brain to focus on solutions rather than fears. And remember, repetition is key. The more you visualize success, the stronger the neural connections become. It's like building a mental muscle. Consistent practice leads to strength. Your brain is more powerful than you realize when you feed it positive imagery. It doesn't just change your thoughts, it changes your actions, your confidence, and ultimately your reality. 4. How your self-talk rewires your brain for success. Have you ever thought about how every word you say to yourself shapes not just your mindset, but your brain itself? It's true. Your self-talk isn't just a fleeting thought, it's a signal that your brain uses to build or break neural connections. The more you repeat certain thoughts, the stronger those connections become, creating habits of thinking that can either empower you or hold you back. Positive self-talk rewires your brain to focus on solutions and possibilities, while negative self-talk traps you in cycles of fear and doubt. Think of your brain like a path in the woods. The path you walk on most often becomes clear well trodden, and easy to follow. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm not smart enough, or I'll never succeed, that path becomes your brain's default route. But if you start creating a new path with thought, like I'm capable or I'll figure this out, it may feel difficult at first, like pushing through tall grass, but with repetition, that path becomes easier to walk, while the negative path grows over with time. Let's take an example from real life. Consider Jake, a young software developer struggling with imposter syndrome. Every time he faced a challenge at work, his internal dialogue screamed, not good enough. Over time, that thought became dajai, automatic, making even small tasks feel overwhelming. But when Jake started practicing intentional self-talk, reminding himself, I've solved problems before and I can do it again, his brain began to shift. What once felt impossible started to seem manageable, not because the work changed, but because his mind did the science behind. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Stoic philosophy, though ancient echoes, this modern understanding, epicus, taught we become what we repeatedly do. The Stoics believed that through constant practice we can reshape our inner world, much like modern neuroscience tells us we can rewire our brains. So how do you start rewiring your brain? Through self-talk first. Identify your negative thought patterns. Write them down. Awareness is the first step to change. Next, for every negative thought, create a positive counter thought. If your mind says, I'm going to fail, counter it with, I'm prepared and I'll give my best effort. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about training your brain to find solutions instead of dwelling on problems. Consistency is crucial. Make positive self-talk a daily habit. Set reminders on your phone, place sticky notes on your mirror, or start your day with affirmations. Over time, your brain will default to empowering thoughts, even in challenging situations. Also surround yourself with positivity. The content you consume, the people you interact with, all of it feeds your mind. Choose wisely. The Stoics believed in surrounding oneself with wisdom to cultivate virtue, and the same applies today for cultivating a positive mindset. Your self-talk is like a sculptor, shaping your brain with each thought. Choose words that build resilience, strength, and confidence. When you do, you're not just changing your mood, you rewind, ironing your brain for success. 5. The importance of changing your self-talk to break free from old patterns. Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle, repeating the same mistakes, falling into the same traps, and wondering why things never seem to change? The answer often lies in your self-talk. The stories you tell yourself daily become the patterns you live by. Negative self-talk keeps you locked in old habits, while changing that dialogue opens the door to new possibilities. Think about this. If you've spent years telling yourself, I'm not disciplined, how likely are you to stick to new routines? Your mind clings to that narrative because it's familiar. But the moment you start saying, I'm becoming more disciplined each day, you challenge that old pattern. At first, it feels awkward, like we're wearing new shoes that haven't molded to your feet yet, but with time it becomes your new normal. Let's take Emma's story. Emma always believed she was terrible at managing money. Every time she tried to save, she'd think, what's the point? I'll mess it up anyway. And unsurprisingly, she did. Her self-talk reinforced her behavior. But when Emma decided to change her narrative, things shifted. She started telling herself, I'm learning to handle my finances wisely. This didn't erase her past mistakes, but it gave her the confidence to try again. Slowly her habits changed, not because her circumstances magically improved, but because her mindset did. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom here. Seneca once said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." To start fresh, you must first end the old patterns, and that starts with your self-talk. The Stoics believed that personal growth required constant self-reflection and intentional action. Much like reshaping your self-talk requires daily effort. So how do you break free from old patterns through self-talk? First, recognize your mental loops. Pay attention to the phrases. When you repeat to yourself, especially in challenging moments, write them down and ask yourself, is this thought helping me grow or holding me back? Awareness is the first step to change. Next, replace those old phrases with empowering ones. For instance, swap. I always fail at this with, I'm learning from every attempt. It's not about blind positivity. It's about creating a mindset that supports growth rather than sabotage. Repetition is key. Your brain needs time to build new pathways. Practice your new self-talk daily, especially when old patterns try to resurface it. You might feel forced initially, but with consistency it becomes second. Nature also celebrates small wins every time you catch yourself breaking an old pattern. Acknowledge it. Positive reinforcement strengthens new behaviors. Lastly, embrace setbacks as part of the process. Changing self-talk doesn't mean you'll never slip back into old habits. The Stoics taught that failure is a teacher. Each setback is a chance to refine your self-talk and grow stronger. Your self-talk is the key to breaking free from the chains of old patterns. Change your dialogue and you change your path. 6. How self-talk influences your biology and energy. Have you ever noticed how a single thought can change the way your entire body feels? One moment you're calm, and the next, a negative thought sends your heart racing, your muscles tensing, and your energy plummeting. And that's because your self-talk doesn't just stay in your mind, it travels through your body, influencing everything from your energy levels to your physical health. And the words you feed your mind shape the chemistry of your body. Here's how it works. When your self-talk is negative, I'm so exhausted I can't handle, and this or nothing ever goes right for me. Your brain releases stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can lead to fatigue, weakened immunity, and even chronic conditions. But when your self-talk is positive, I've got this, I'm capable, or this is a challenge but I'm ready, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin which boost your mood, energy, and overall well-being. Let's consider an example, Alex. A college student often felt drained despite getting enough sleep. His days were filled with self-criticism. I'm not smart enough for this. I'm going to fail, and everyone else is better than me. His body responded to this mental stress by feeling constantly tired and tense. But when Alex started practicing positive self-talk, reminding himself daily, I'm learning and improving, I'm doing my best, and I'm proud of my efforts, he noticed a shift. His energy levels improved, not because his workload changed, but because his mind, and in turn, his body felt lighter. Stoicism reinforces this connection between mind and body. Epicus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your reaction begins with your thoughts, and those thoughts ripple through your entire being. The Stoics understood that true strength comes from within, and modern science backs this up by showing our thoughts directly influence our physical state. So how can you harness self-talk to boost your biology and energy? Start by being mindful of your internal dialogue throughout the day. Check in with yourself. Are your thoughts draining your energy or fueling it? When you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause and reframe. Instead of, I'm so tired, say I have the energy I need to get through this. This simple shift can change how your body responds. Incorporate positive affirmations into your daily wallet. Routine phrases like I am strong, I am energized, and I am capable might feel strange at first, but repeated often, they start to influence not just your mind but your body's chemistry. Physical posture plays a role too. Notice how you carry yourself when your thoughts are negative: slumped shoulders, shallow breathing, tense muscles. Now, try adjusting your posture. Stand tall, take deep breaths, and relax your shoulders while repeating positive self-talk. This combination reinforces a state of calm and vitality. Another practical step is to use visualization. Close your eyes and picture yourself energized, i.e., confident and in control. Your brain will start sending signals to your body to align with that image. And don't forget the Stoic practice of gratitude at the end of each day. Reflect on what went well. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, releasing positive chemicals that enhance your well-being. Your self-talk is a direct line to your body's energy and health. Speak to yourself with positivity and watch your energy levels soar, not because life gets easier, but because you become stronger. 7. Reprogramming your neural pathways through intentional self-talk. Did you know that every thought you have is like a signal traveling through a network of pathways in your brain? These pathways are formed by repeated thoughts, habits, and experiences. The more you think a certain way, the stronger those pathways become. But here's the exciting part. Your brain isn't fixed. It's constantly changing and adapting. This means that by practicing intentional self-talk, you can literally reprogram your brain to support your success, confidence, and growth. Imagine your brain as a field of grass. If you walk the same path every day, that path becomes clear and easy to follow. But if you decide to create a new path at first, it's difficult, and you're pushing through tall grass, but with time and repetition, the new path becomes clear and the old one fades. That's exactly how neural pathways work. Negative self-talk creates well-worn paths of doubt and fear, but positive self-talk builds new paths of resilience, optimism, and action. Take Mia's story. Mia struggled with public speaking. Every time she had to speak in front of a crowd, her mind screamed, "You're going to mess up," and her brain, accustomed to this thought, triggered anxiety and self-doubt. But Mia decided to change her self-talk every morning. She repeated, "I am calm, confident, and clear when I speak before every presentation." She visualized herself speaking smoothly and confidently. At first it felt forced, but over time, those positive thoughts created new neural pathways. Her brain began to associate speaking with calmness rather than panic. Mia didn't just become better at public speaking, she reprogrammed her brain to support her success. This idea aligns perfectly with Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that through consistent practice we could train our minds to respond to life with wisdom and calm. Epicurus taught the soul is guided by the color of its thoughts in modern terms. Our brains are shaped by the thoughts we feed them. So, how do you start reprogramming your neural pathways? First, practice intentional self talk daily. Choose positive affirmations that resonate. With your goals, repeat them consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Remember, you're building a new path, one step at a time. Second challenge, negative thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, stop and replace it with, I am learning and growing every day. This interruption helps weaken old pathways and strengthen the new ones. Visualization is another powerful tool. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself succeeding and see the details, feel the emotions, and immerse yourself in that vision. Your brain will start building pathways to align with that. Image consistency is key. Just like physical exercise strengthens muscles, mental repetition strengthens neural connections. The more you practice positive self-talk, the more automatic it becomes. And here's a Stoic inspired reminder: progress takes time. Seneca said, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Dare to change your self-talk. Even when it feels hard over time, you'll find that what once felt difficult becomes second nature. Your brain is your greatest tool. To reprogram it with intention, and you'll unlock potential you never thought possible. 8. The science of neuroplasticity and its impact on your life. Have you ever felt trapped by your habits, convinced that this is just how I am? What if I told you that your brain is capable of change constantly? Neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections means that no matter how deeply ingrained a habit or thought pattern is, you can change it. And one of the most effective tools for that change is your self-talk. Neuroplasticity works like this. Every time you think a thought, you strengthen a neural connection. Repeated thoughts create well-worn pathways in your brain, making certain patterns feel automatic. But when you introduce new thoughts, especially through intentional self-talk, you start building new pathways over time. These new connections become stronger, while the old unhelpful ones weaken. Let's break it down with a real-world example. Consider Daniel, who struggled with self-doubt for years. His inner voice told him, "You'll never be successful." This thought became so automatic that even small challenges felt insurmountable. But when Daniel learned about neuroplasticity, he decided to change his self-talk every day. He told himself, I am capable and I am improving. Every day at first it felt unnatural, but he persisted slowly. His brain began to associate challenges with growth rather than failure. His confidence grew, his actions became bolder, and his life began to shift. Not overnight, but through consistent mental training. The Stoics understood this concept long before neuroscience confirmed it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." They believed that by mastering our thoughts, we could master our lives. Neuroplasticity is simply the scientific explanation for this ancient wisdom. So, how can you leverage neuroplasticity through self-talk? First, commit to consistency. Your brain needs repetition to form new connections. Choose positive affirmations aligned with your goals and repeat them daily. The more you repeat them, the stronger the neural connections become. Second, be patient. Changing your brain takes time, just like building muscle. Don't be discouraged. If it feels slow, every positive thought is a pay step forward even if it doesn't feel like it. Right away, mindfulness also plays a crucial role. Pay attention to your thoughts throughout the day. When you notice negative patterns, pause and reframe them. Each time you do this, you weaken old connections and strengthen new ones. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagine yourself achieving your goals with vivid detail. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between real and imagined experiences. So this practice helps build neural connections that support on your success. Finally, embrace setbacks as part of the process. Neuroplasticity isn't it's about perfection, it's about progress. Seneca reminds us difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does. The body, every challenge is an opportunity to reinforce new mental patterns. Your brain is adaptable, resilient, and capable of growth. At any stage of life, through intentional self-talk, you're not just changing your mindset, you're reshaping your brain. And with it, your future nine, creating a new energetic signature through focused self-talk. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the energy shift, whether it was positive or negative? That's because every one of us carries an energetic signature in the vibe we project to the world. What many people don't realize is that your self-talk directly influences this energy. The way you speak to yourself not only shapes your mindset but also the energy you bring into every interaction and situation. Think of yourself. Talk as the background music to your life when it's filled with negative self-criticism like I'm not good enough or things never work out for me. It's like playing a sad melancholic tune on repeat that. Energy affects how you approach your goals, how others perceive you, and what opportunities come your way. But when your self-talk is uplifting, I am capable, I am worthy, I attract positive opportunities, you project confidence, resilience, and positivity, much like an upbeat, inspiring soundtrack that energizes you and those around you. Let's take Chris for example. Chris always felt stuck in life. His internal dialogue was a constant loop of why bother, nothing ever works out for me. And guess what? His energy reflected that. People sense his pessimism. Opportunities seemed to bypass him, and his own actions were half-hearted. But when Chris decided to change his self-talk, everything shifted. He started each day with affirmations like, I am open to new possibilities, and I bring value to every situation. Gradually his energy changed, he became more approachable, more proactive, and suddenly doors began to open. Not because the world changed, but because he did. This concept ties closely to Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed that our internal state shapes our external reality. Epicurus said, men are disturbed not by things but by the views they take of them. Your energetic signature is shaped by your internal views, your self-talk. So how do you create a new energetic signature? Through focused self-talk. Start by setting a clear intention. Each day when you wake up, choose the energy you want to carry with you. Say to yourself, today I bring positivity, strength and focus into everything I do. This sets the tone for your mind and energy from the start throughout the day. Monitor your internal dialogue when negative thoughts creep in. Don't let them linger. Replace them with affirmations that align with the energy you want to project. For example, shift from I'm overwhelmed to I'm calm and capable, handling one thing at a time. Visualization is a game. Share here too. Spend a few moments each day imagining yourself walking through life with confidence and calm energy. Picture yourself handling challenges, gracefully inspiring others with your presence and attracting positive experiences. Your brain begins to believe and reinforce this energetic state. Also surround yourself with positivity, the people you engage with, the content you consume. All of it contributes to your energetic signature. Choose influences that uplift you and reinforce your desired mindset. Finally, practice gratitude each evening. Reflect on moments when you felt aligned with your desired energy. Gratitude amplifies positive energy and helps maintain it. Your self-talk is the pulse of your energy. When you align your internal dialogue with positivity and confidence, you don't just feel different, you radiate differently, and that energy it draws in opportunities, connections, and experiences that match it. 10. The 3-day challenge to change your self-talk and transform your life. Imagine what your life could look like if for just 3 days you spoke to yourself with nothing but kindness, encouragement, and belief. 3 days might seem short, but it's enough to feel the shift. It's enough to prove to yourself that the way you talk to yourself changes everything from your mood to your motivation, from your energy to your outcomes. This challenge isn't about perfection, it's about intention. For 3 days, you'll commit to conscious, positive self-talk and you'll witness firsthand how your inner dialogue can transform your reality. Here's why this challenge works your brain, responds quickly to new patterns, even if they're temporary. Think of it like starting a new workout. After just a few sessions, you begin to feel stronger, more energized, and more capable. Your muscles remember the effort, and your body starts to adapt. Your brain works the same way when you spend 3 days feeding it positive self-talk. It begins to adapt, building new neural connections that support a healthier mindset. Let's take Sarah's story. Sarah had always struggled with self-doubt, often telling herself, "I'm not smart enough or I'll never succeed." When she learned about the 3-day self-talk challenge, she was skeptical, but decided to give it a shot. For 3 days, every time a negative thought appeared, she consciously replaced it with a positive one. "I am learning and growing. I have what it takes. I am enough." By the end of those 3 days, something surprising happened. Sarah felt lighter, more motivated, and even tackled tasks she had been avoiding. It wasn't magic, it was mindset. Those 3 days didn't solve all her problems, but they showed her that change was possible. From there, she continued to practice, transforming not just her thoughts, but her life. The Stoics would embrace this challenge wholeheartedly. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to focus on what he could control his mind. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will, to find strength." The 3-day challenge is exactly that. Taking control of your mind even when external circumstances remain unchanged. So how do you take on this challenge for 3 days? To make a conscious effort to monitor your self-talk. Each time you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause and replace it with something positive. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. Swap "I can't do this" with "I'll take it one step at a time." Replace "I'm not good" to "enough" with "I'm doing my best and that's enough." Start each morning with affirmations. Spend 5 minutes telling yourself, "I am capable, I am strong, I am ready for today." Throughout the day, stay aware. When stress hits, remind yourself, "I can handle this. When you make a mistake, say I'm learning and improving, and each night reflect on your progress. Write down one positive thing you told yourself that day and how it made you feel. You will notice the changes quickly, perhaps a boost in energy, a bit more confidence, or simply a sense of calm. 3 days is enough to feel the difference and inspire you to keep going. This challenge is your starting point. It's a simple commitment with profound results because when you change the way you talk to yourself, you change the way you experience your life. And sometimes all it takes is 3 days to see what's possible. The way you talk to yourself matters more than you realize. Your self-talk shapes your brain, your energy, and your reality by intentionally choosing positive, empowering words. You rewire your mind for success, break free from old patterns, and create a life filled with possibility. The Stoics knew that mastering the mind was key to mastering life. Now you know it too. Take the 3-day challenge and experience the power of self-talk for yourself. Your transformation starts from within, and it starts now. If this episode inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue sharing Stoic wisdom and practical tools for personal growth. Share your 3-day challenge experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear how it transforms your life. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening, and subscribe. Comment on the channel